I get a whole thing. I don't know if you talk about Rizz or if you use Rizz in your in your
That's
vernacular, but
such a silly statement.
right,
Yeah.
Rizz
But
in
it's the whole idea of game again. Right.
right. Well, the whole idea of Rizz, for those who aren't familiar with the term, Rizz is, having sex appeal. It's being
You're smooth, your
right,
charisma. It's yeah.
all those things. Yeah. So, if you
And
got
so let's pause on that. Here's how I know you don't have Rizz. When you have to follow somebody's protocol for how to get some instead of doing what you know is the right thing. See, somebody who really has confidence that people are attracted to, they do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, not because it gets them what they want, not because they're listening to other people telling them what to do, because they are themselves. The most confident human being in the world is the person who believes in living their life the way they do because it's who they are.
I think it's a beautiful way of looking at Rizz, and I get ripped apart a lot in the comments when I talk about, especially the kissing part of, you can ask and make it sexy, and people respond. If somebody don't, women will respond and men will respond,
Yep.
and non-binary partners will respond. Non-binary
Yep.
binary people, people of all different gender, will respond, and they'll be like, I don't want someone to ask. It ruins the moment. It's such a dorky thing to do. Or if I lean
But let's
in,
pause. Let's pause on that because I get it too. This is the heart of my work. I get this all the time. So here's the key to overcoming that, right? There's some barriers playing in their mind. They're fighting back because if they agree with you, they have to look in the mirror. So it's easier to fight back. This is a very personal issue. So I'm going to fight back. I'm going to challenge you, because if I don't challenge you and I listen to you and I actually ask someone, I'd have to look in the mirror at what I've done in the past. And that's scary. Have I done something? I didn't give somebody this choice before. That can feel horrible. And so you're getting a lot of pushback because you're hitting the right notes and it's activating people. Right. And so that's a good thing, actually. How we overcome that is we role play an asking scene. And everybody in the room who before we role played was like, it'll never work. It'll be awful. And then you role play it on stage and people are like, oh my gosh, I would love that. And you're like, well, what just happened? You just saw it. That's all you needed. They just need to see it. TV and movie doesn't show it. But once people see asking, they're like, oh my gosh, that's so much easier. Why didn't we? The same person who said, I don't ever want to be asked. I get it all the time. The second part of this is the ones who I don't need to ask. I've got game. I've got Rizz, right? They'll say that. And I'll say this. I'll go, I've got game. And I'll say, well, I'm sorry you need it. And as soon as I say that, the room's like, oh, all the students are like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. And they get it right away. Because if you tell me you need Rizz or you have to have game to get what you want, what you're telling me is who you are isn't good enough. So you have to follow this protocol to get what you want because you can't be who you are. I wouldn't be bragging if that's the case.
Well, alpha, I don't know if you ever get like the alpha males and like if people.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Alpha, look at the energy I'm giving, right? It's high energy. It is this alpha versus beta versus all different levels, right? It's confidence in doing the right thing, however you project that.
Yeah.
The ultimate definition of confidence is to believe in, not to get, right? And so if I want to be confident, I don't prove that I'm confident by getting anything. I prove I'm confident by learning how to believe in me and believe in how to treat other human beings. And this is the phrase that we teach every audience, because that's who I am. And you know how few people are taught to look in the mirror and say, I'm making this choice right now because this is who I am. It's so rare and it's so empowering. So before any situation you go into anybody sexually, stop yourself, look in the mirror, go, remember, this is who I am. Somebody who cares, somebody who wants to do the right thing, somebody who wants to give somebody choices, somebody who only wants to be mutually wanted. This is who I am. And when people try to get me to do other things that are not who I am, I will declare my boundaries for me. This is who I am.